Welcome to Crypto Morning on Friday, August 16th, 2024. We've had an exceptionally data-rich week with remarkable market statistics. The S&P 500 also performed wonderfully, up 1.61%. Not to mention Nasdaq's 34% jump, with Tesla and Nvidia showing impressive gains. Nvidia, after dropping to around 90, is a win for those who bought under 100, because it's on the rise again. So at one point we started seeing articles claiming AI was in a bubble and it's the end of the world. Like any new sector, there's a period of excessive growth followed by a correction, and I think it'll bounce back. Was it the right time to buy under 100? I'm not sure. It's possible. In any case, I'm keeping an eye on this kind of stock. I mentioned TRX and Tron yesterday. What really matters in the end are the projects, roadmap and all that. But also, does it simply generate cash? Tron blockchain revenue has surpassed Ethereum's over 90 days. That's a huge surprise, honestly. Not shocking though, as they're thriving, especially in the lucrative stablecoin market. USDT transfers on TRX are huge. I often use it to move stablecoins between platforms because the fees are incredibly low. They've specialized in this, excelling at it with massive revenues. This made me chuckle. In the US and maybe soon in Europe too, there's a specific regulation for influencers across social media platforms, but only crypto influencers will be notified of these new rules. Unfortunately, as you know, there's a lot of fake content out there. You see accounts with 150,000 subscribers but only 1,500 views. Honestly, that's a huge red flag. It's really suspicious. There are many fakes. We see these bogus accounts online, so at some point regulations will address this issue. Beware, those with fake likes and followers will face US regulations. It's interesting because I've wondered for years where Goldman Sachs is. We often hear about BlackRock, and BlackRock is of course the world's largest fund. Goldman Sachs is different in the US. At BlackRock and Goldman Sachs, you should know that at the ECB or IMF, many people come from Goldman Sachs or go there after politics, then return to politics. They're absolutely everywhere among decision makers. We're talking IMF, ECB, the Fed, and others. Lots of Goldman Sachs people, surprisingly, and we learn, in fact, they've amassed a huge amount of TF, totaling 418 million, which is quite an impressive sum. We've seen that Morgan Stanley specifically has 188 million. They're also part of what's happening, which was inevitable, as they're one of the largest American banks. What's interesting is that pension funds are now buying MicroStrategy stock. Currently, funds are buying ETFs worldwide, especially BlackRock ETFs. But there's another way to invest in Bitcoin, simply buying MicroStrategy shares. MicroStrategy greatly benefits from the enormous gains they've made and will likely continue to make in the future on their Bitcoin purchases. So for investors, it's appealing to directly buy MicroStrategy stocks, which doubly benefits the share price. That's interesting because I think at some point we all ask ourselves the question, will it be possible to use cryptos not just as cryptos but as actual currency? I mean, to really use them as money for everyday transactions. I think this is a major partnership, MetaMask teaming up with MasterCard to simply make this possibility a reality. I don't know about you, but personally I've never spent crypto. I'm not keen on those offers you often hear about, usually negatively, like those cards sold by centralized exchanges. They never interested me. But obviously that's the end goal, right? I think many of us now have a large portion of our investments in crypto compared to other assets. It'd be great if it could stay in crypto, whether its currencies are indeed moving in that direction at the moment. The map doesn't look great. We have an FTM. Let's take a look volume-wise. Bitcoin is impressive. Even with a 10% monthly drop, the volumes are extremely interesting. And we see that around Ethereum has decent volumes, but Bitcoin's 35 billion stands out as very high volume. We're seeing huge Tether volumes too. Recently, there's been a lot of Tether buying, especially on exchanges. This usually prepares for buybacks if the market dips. We're still in a boring phase. I hate when we're stuck in the middle and we've been hit by moving averages. We had a dead cross, but daily dead crosses aren't hugely significant. Short term, it's negative with 3 moving averages acting as resistance. I think we'll soon hit them around 53,000, potentially leading to a simple rebound. As for Ethereum, it's not looking good at all. Honestly, when we looking back, when we look at the daily chart now, it's really not pretty. You see that the entire performance has been reversed. We went and hit 2,148 anyway. I see some patterns that aren't very pretty, a bit like this bear flag. We fall, we pretend to go back slightly to the crescent. For me, it might go slightly lower, but I think we're getting into areas that are going to be super interesting short term. I think we need to be careful about Ethereum because as the days go by, we see it appear, we see the little bear flag a bit like here. Otherwise, Teao, I find that it's holding up pretty well and the pattern is starting to look good. With the 50 moving average, the 100, it needs the 200 to weaken a bit and we're going to have the beginning of something, and here it's very simple. We need to go and exceed the 285.50 moving average, 323 100 moving average, around 375 for the top of the range, and then let's be wild, 440 200 moving average. It explodes at 440, reversing everything. Now you see 4 resistances up north with crucial support around 200. STX is similar. Resistances at 164, 180, top of range 2, and let's be wild, 221. Next, FTM attempts a rebound. As I recently mentioned, it's hitting its low from a year ago. We're at the bottom of 2023. It's bouncing, but will it be enough? I don't have much faith in such rebounds. We need W's or inverse head and shoulders patterns. Maybe this is the shoulder or the head and it'll fake and rise. Let's be bold to 0.53, then back down right under 0.38. But that's just speculation. Still, there might be the start of a pattern. But let's not rush. He might rise, fall again, and if he bounces back to these levels, we'll discuss it. There might be something there. That's all from me. Have a great Friday and weekend.